Hey everyone out there in the land of YouTube, this is Annette Dion. I'm the host and founder of the Psychic News Network. Today is Thursday, October 28th, 2021. Hope you're all doing great. We made it through the nor'easter. We didn't have electricity for a while. It was kind of inconvenient. I did have electricity at my office, so that was good. All is well. The waves were very high. I almost took some video yesterday of the waves, but it was like, I don't know, it was like the Grand Canyon. How many people were there taking pictures of the waves? I guess everyone was bored. Anyway, yeah, we made it through, and we are grateful, and no loss of life or anything, just a lot of damage. We really have to get this climate change stuff handled because it's getting scary. This has been a week of massive devastation weather-wise, and you know, Biden's on his way to talk about what we're going to do about climate change, how we're going to fix things up a little bit. We got to curb these emissions by 50% within this decade. China doesn't seem to be on board, I'll tell you that, nor does Russia. So we should probably look at that. You think? That's what we're here for. We should probably look at that. You know, maybe it's a little too scary to look at, but that's what we're here for. Just before I came on, I was thinking about the Psychic News Network, and I was having a vision of the Psychic News Network of the future. Of you know how they have like talking heads come on and they tell their opinion and everything. We could have psychic newscasters, like, I don't know, there'd be a Wolf Blitzer type, and there'll be like a Rachel Maddow type, and I pick Rachel Maddow, I'll be her. Actually that's CNN and MSNBC, but anyway. And then we could go to, oh, and now we're going to talk to our panel, and we can have an astrologer and a numerologist. My imagination was going a little nuts. Anyway, let me know what you think of that. It could be the way of the future, because nobody knows what's going on anymore. Let's look at, are we going to make it through this global climate change stuff? I did notice whenever I say that, YouTube throws up a definition from Wikipedia of what that means. So I guess you could read it, but I think we all know. Interesting how that happens. Okay, so let's take a look. Are we going to get there? Are we going to cut globally carbon emissions by the 50, I think it's a little more than 50% within this decade to save us from just total calamity? Global calamity. We've already gone too far with a lot of this, where there's no helping. See if we're going to get there. Okay, this is an important question, so guide us. Are we going to make it through the global stuff? Well, we're going to be between a rock and a hard place. Yep. The judgment is, this is collectively looking at, I really feel like there have been a lot of scientists, I think it's in Glasgow, they're having this summit about the climate. I feel like there are a lot of scientists that have been getting ready for this summit for a long time, since they missed the last one because of COVID. All right. Okay, let me tell you the good news. The good news is that these scientists, I'm not sure specifically where they're from. I feel like they're from all over. There's like a consort, I guess I would call it, of what I'm picking up on is a bunch of climate scientists that have really been, you know, nose to the grindstone, not looking anywhere, but focused on how are we going to do this. I feel like there's going to be a big proposition, like we figured it out, kind of, at this global leaders, you know, convergence about the climate. So the good news is, I feel like a band of scientists have it all figured out. They have how much, by when, how many sustainable renewable energy, means of getting energy, structures have to be in place. It's fascinating because I feel like if you were there and you saw a presentation like this, and this is just all in my mind's eye that I'm seeing this, my psychic impression is they have it figured out. If they can get around the politics, the world politics, we could as a humanity save ourselves from extinction from this global threat. The judgment card is coming up, and then that's going to leave other countries in the position to think about karma. If they don't act, how that's going to affect them. And I don't mean like metaphysical karma. I just mean more like if we don't act, how much that's going to, it's all the economy, the economy, the economy, the economy. I wish people could, focus on something besides money. But knowing, like China, for instance, and I know China's not going to be there, but let me just say that China is risking losing a whole lot of land and a whole lot of property and a whole lot economically if they don't agree to curb their emissions. And I know they're not going to be there, but it's not like they won't be paying attention to what's being said. So I'm getting like 65 to 70% of the countries will be on board with doing it, but then Biden has to bring it back to the United States and see how far he gets. And the guys are saying that Biden will get there. The Three of Pentacles is that something will happen as a result of this summit. I see like 7 countries getting on board and doing what they say that they'll do. It looks like the United States is part of that. I do see that. But we really have to do something because look, this card even looks hot. This looks like somebody trapped in the desert without water and a scorching heat. And it's a real sense of, it's a 10 of Wands, of being trapped. This is a burden card. This is a heavy burden, and it's a hot and heavy burden. All right, so there's that. Speaking of hot, I had to turn my little fake fireplace on that throws out heat because the temperature really dropped. Wasn't I complaining a few days ago that I took my air conditioner out too soon? I'm telling you, it's bananas. Bananas! Next, I have a list. I have some really scorpionic questions tonight. So, scorpionic in the sense that I'm really going to poke into this issue. Since that accident on the set of Rust, that movie that Alec Baldwin was involved in, that horrible accident where he got a loaded gun rather than a cold gun, basically a fake gun. He was handed a real loaded gun, being told it was a fake gun, or without bullets anyway. And I can't get it out of my mind, and this channel is for entertainment purposes only, but I can't get it out of my mind that it was deliberate. And it's very disturbing. But in this line of work, you just got to take the disturbing and poke into it. So here's my question. And here's my suspicion that brought me to the question, but I haven't read on it till right now. Alec Baldwin successfully was a favorite on SNL for his impression of 45. 45 can't take a joke. 45 has people that will do whatever he wants. And like I said, this is for entertainment purposes only. But I sense influence there. So that Alec Baldwin would be in a position of being really damaged by, I mean, he's going to PTSD for the rest of his life. Absolutely. I can't shake the feeling that somebody knew what they were doing when they handed that loaded gun to Alec Baldwin and telling him that it was, and I'm not saying the guy that handed it to him, I'm not pointing fingers at anybody, but I'm just pointing to, I feel that there was something more than an accident going on there that put Alec Baldwin in a position of unintentional, you know, like homicide. Good Lord. I think Glenn Kirshner said something about it today, but I didn't get to watch what he said. So here we are. Was there something nefarious going on behind Alec being handed a gun that actually was loaded and killed that camera woman? And as a side note, when is Hollywood going to stop being so obsessed by killing? I personally, just as a little side note, just to share my personal experience, I cannot watch violence. I will not watch movies with violence. It really limits by 99% what movies I will watch, because I actually haven't exposed myself to so much violence that I would be numb to it. So this could potentially be a little bit of a turning point, but that's not what we're looking at right now, where at least some people are going, gee, you know, why do we have such danger on the sets? Why do we, and I know there's all kinds of safety regulations that have been violated in Hollywood in that particular set especially. But why can't we just make a movie that's a movie? I don't know. Is it just me? All right, let's see what's going on there. Let's just see. Let's just look. The Four of Pentacles is a card about a meeting prior to that happening. Entertainment purposes only. We'll hear about it. There was a meeting about what was going to happen. It was to bring Alec Baldwin down. It was like a punishment. One more time, entertainment purposes only. This is just my psychic impression, which I take very seriously after so many years doing this work, I might add. The Three of Wands is, okay, this is about the camera woman who, I know her name starts with an H, but I don't want to mutilate her name. But anyway, pretty woman, young, very gifted, very talented. The Three of Wands is actually, she's saying she's okay. On the other side, she's in heaven, and her soul understands that, I know, this is big picture. It's hard, you know, we got to get, you know, the way I'm talking right now, we have to get in a different perspective. It's done, it's over. She's a soul who's crossed over to the other side. She's in beauty, love, and light, watching over her family, the camera woman that got killed. And something is going to change as a result. And she's going to see to it from the other side that it does. And I feel like she's with Alec Baldwin right now, helping him to feel comfort. But the moon is, he's a very, this really ruined him emotionally. I mean, just with the trauma of it really ruined him. Okay. We're going to switch topics. That was a heavy one. I had to look because it's been on my mind since it happened. Something feels off about it. Something feels like, wait, really? If you really think about it. Sometimes I think too much. Next topic, just erasing that one. We're going to look at Merrick Garland. We're going to look at Merrick Garland because I'm wondering if after seeing the debacle of Ted Cruz. I think Merrick Garland is Jewish. Yeah, I think I'm right. I think, yeah. Which makes it even more breathtakingly, freakily horrifying that Ted Cruz was actually in Merrick Garland's face in that horrible hearing, actually defending the parents who were maskers, saying, holding up their right hand and, salute to Hitler, was okay. Should be okay based on our First Amendment rights. Beside the point. I know I'm going slow today, but there's a lot of heavy stuff going on. There's a lot. We're in the season of Scorpio. There's a lot of really heavy stuff going on. I'm looking at Merrick Garland and I'm going, how much more of this can he really withstand? If he were on the Supreme Court, it would be a better positioning for him. Because if you know what it feels like to be bullied, you can't even begin to scratch the surface of what Merrick Garland is going through. So the question is Merrick Garland going to resign? Because I could read it, I could see it, I could see the way that he was sitting there listening to these idiots. Like, there's no fixing stupid, and there's definitely no fixing arrogant, and there's apparently no fixing racism. I'm sorry, it makes me so angry. Is he going to resign? Is Merrick Garland going to just say, pick someone else? Mr. Biden, thank you for the opportunity, but pick someone else. Kind of like the people that work at the polls. We don't want our children murdered. That's where we are as a nation. All right. We'll lighten up in a little while. He's thinking about it. Merrick Garland is thinking about resigning. He's thinking about resigning. I feel like there's going to be aid rushing in. The chariot card came like no, don't do it, don't resign. Merrick Garland, I feel like he's thinking about resigning. I feel like he's going to share that with somebody, and that's going to be a red flag to say, we need to help. We need to help. We need him as Attorney General. We need to help. They're going to at least, Democrats especially, are at least going to see what they can do to help him. And the guides just said that goes for the people at the polls too. So it kind of seems like it goes hand in hand. Hang on, I dropped a card. They're just jumping around. Oh my goodness. It looks like he's going to resign. Okay, well, we're getting some doozies tonight, aren't we? Jeez. I'm just the messenger. Wow, that would be terrible. Let's go for some clarification on that. I'm thinking too, somebody asked me a question. I'm trying to remember what it was. It might pop into my mind. I didn't write it down. And I'll get to it next time if I don't remember it. Okay, let's look further into this Merrick Garland thing. I mean, he's a gentle guy. He's not, and maybe they need somebody who's more aggressive. Because the thing about Merrick Garland is he's thoughtful, he's careful, he's committed, he's dedicated, he's got dignity, and he treats people with respect. And I don't care how much you're committed to treating people with respect and how polite and proper you are. If somebody like Ted Cruz comes at you like that, I mean, you either step out of character and you just lash back, Or you just go, you know what, this is just, it's not my cup of tea. I got the death card that he's going to resign. Good Lord. Or that he's decided to. Now, this is interesting because the strength card is, this has been my, the people of the power card. I do see the people rallying around Merrick Garland. I mean, and then it'll be up to him. The death card just basically said that's it he's made up his mind. Well, a few weeks ago, I said that I saw Merrick Garland getting the help that he needs. So I feel like he made up his mind to resign, but things are going to get better because I see the rebuilding card and the Ace of Cups. So it's going to change. What's happening will stop happening. And the death card means a big, massive change. So it's either that the Two of Swords is he's definitely thinking about it. The Chariot was Democrats rushing in and just saying, telling him not to. Then I got the death card, which is like, no, I really decided this is it. And then those positive, the Three of Pentacles, people, like rebuilding, and then the, and the strength, the power to the people, and the Ace of Cups overflowing, which is a good outcome. I don't know, it's almost like when somebody's not getting the support that they need and they're doing this huge job, and and it's like, like, don't expose me to those horrible Ted Cruz, Josh Hawley types and Jim Jordans. And then maybe I'll do the job, kind of like that. So we'll see, but he's definitely considering it. And something will change drastically. Either the approach, what they do with him with his position, or he'll just resign. And somebody else will take his place. But I don't feel this is going to happen right away. I don't feel like it's going to be like one day he goes in and just, that's it, I quit. I don't feel like it's that. I feel like he's not that type anyway. Okay, what next? DeSatan? Shall we go to DeSatan? We have to pray for the children. We have to pray for the children that are getting caught in the crosshairs here. It's probably a bad analogy. We have to pray for the children. We can't even imagine as adults this kind of trauma that these children with these anti-maskers being exposed to this despicable behavior are going through. Besides, not allowing parents to take care of their children. I mean, children nowadays, trauma galore. So DeSantis is just trying to punish and punish and punish and punish people that want to wear masks. The guy's not right. There's something wrong with him. There's something very wrong with him. Can you say sociopath? Because that's what I just heard. Ron DeSatan is a sociopath. And he's not the only one. What's going to happen with that? I'm remembering a few months ago, maybe a couple months ago, seeing Ron DeSantis really having lawsuits flying at him. The Sun card means the children will prevail in terms of the children will be safe. So in other words, I feel that the things that DeSatan is attempting to do by imposing fines and penalties and withdrawing funding from the schools and all that, he's going to pay a price. And the children have rights. It feels like children's rights. Children's rights will prevail. The King of Cups. Well, this is the legal system coming after DeSantis. He's not gonna. This does not have much longer of a shelf life. What DeSatan is doing does not have much longer of a shelf life. It doesn't. Maybe to the end of the year. Hey, we're in the last week of October, so till the end of the year, yeah, the legal system takes time. Have you noticed? I don't think he's going to get away with this for much longer. I see too many legal issues coming at him. Is our justice system going to start to grow some teeth? That's my next question. Are we going to start seeing prosecutions? And I mean around everything. Like voting, people that work at the polls. I mean, I've wanted to work. I haven't worked at the polls, but I would. It's something that I would feel proud to do to help. But they're being threatened, and their families are being threatened, and they're just quitting. The anti-maskers being so violent. The 45 supporters continuing to support the big lie and to spew vitriol and hatred. And I mean, it just goes on and on and on. All the crimes, you know, January 6th, of course, and all these crimes, violent, vitriolic crimes, there's so many that need to be addressed. So the question is our justice system going to have enough resources to prosecute and put away these dangerous people? One of them is colored orange like a pumpkin. I know, it's a broad range of crimes. Well, I have the Fool card and I have the Judgment card, which tells me that these criminals are foolish and that the judgment Judgment Day is coming for them. Judgment Day is coming for them. And the other day, you know, I was saying about karma. Karma's a bitch. Karma can bite you in the butt, and it will. Don't think these people that are so violent and crazy are happy, because they're not. I mean, there's crazy happy, and then there's crazy sociopath. The Queen of Pentacles, this is the feminine. You know, I always see the female judges. I always see females in positions of, you know, of high positions in the judicial system as having a lot of power here. So I would say yes. The Fool card indicates that these crimes being so out in the open is just really foolish. And I would say yes. I feel like we're going to hit our stride. I feel like America has never been challenged to the degree that we have been challenged ever. And that this is a time all hands on deck, kind of, you know, because the ship is sinking. The democracy ship is sinking. And we have to tell the people that are too busy to pay attention that they need to pay attention. Because if they can watch Netflix, they can pay attention to what's happening and have their voices be heard. And especially have their vote be heard. Voting rights. We're going to go to voting rights right now. How's that going? I happened to see Stacey Abrams, I think it was on Lawrence O'Donnell last night. And the first thing I thought was that woman's going to be president. Someday. And Jayapal, Pramila Jayapal, who's heading up the whole infrastructure bill situation, you know, the spokeswoman, I don't know her official title. I should know that. I see her as Speaker of the House in the future. So that bodes well, doesn't it? Because that means our democracy will survive. But let's take a look at voting rights. We did go over the Virginia race the other day. I don't really need to look at that right now. And I want everybody to know the power of thought. And if you want McAuliffe to win in Virginia, then visualize it. And I'm not joking. It works. It worked for Newsom. It worked for Biden. Now let's imagine us keeping our democracy. Six of Wands, we're going to have to redo our democracy to be stronger. Three of Pentacles keeps coming up. We are in a rebuilding phase. The Tower card was January 6th. We're in a rebuilding phase. It depends on how you look at it. Yeah, Six of Cups, Six of Wands. It's going to be hard and emotional, and it's going to look a lot of times like we're tied with the bad people, the GOP Republicans that are, let's just say, hell-bent on making our democracy an autocratic or fascist government. it's going to be back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, which reminds me of the infrastructure bill too. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It's going to be like the guides are showing me a seesaw, a seesaw. It's going to be like a seesaw. Sometimes it's going to be like a roller coaster. Sometimes it's going to be like those rides at the carnival that you couldn't pay me $1 million to go on, like that. It's going to feel like that. It's going to feel like that. But because it's feeling like that, people are going to wake up. Like, for instance, all these natural disasters that are climate related, those are the things, the real life survival things that are going to wake people up. We got to look at the infrastructure bill, right? But there's one other thing, and I do have it here, but I don't know. It just seemed like there was one other important thing. How will the summit go for Biden? Oh, there's so much news. I'm going to try to make this quick. The summit for Biden, I did kind of cover that. I did cover that. Because I was really thinking about climate. All right, so not too long ago I said that Facebook was going to change. Well, what I said was I saw another platform that wasn't Facebook. I just didn't see Facebook anymore. Lo and behold, Mr. Strange Space Alien dude, he's a lot like Elon Musk. I don't know if Zuckerberg has Asperger's, but I know Elon Musk does, which explains a lot. But just in terms of the way that they present and appear. No, Zuckerberg. The guides are saying Zuckerberg doesn't have Asperger's. What an arrogant! Oh my gosh, I can't go there. It makes me too angry. He's so arrogant. He's so removed. You know, there's this thing happening that's like the billionaire psychology, where they're removed from the rest of our reality. They have no concept. Anyway, so what will happen now that they've changed their name to Meta? Meta. I don't know why they can't. Couldn't they have been more creative? I guess that was from Facebook to Meta. Like meta what? Meta physics? No, it's not that. Yeah, they're gonna lose so many people. They lost me. Facebook lost me. So let's see if that's gonna be successful. Hang on a sec. What I'm doing is I'm just looking at my questions. Zuckerberg's back at the table. Now, I had said not too long ago that he was going to lose Facebook. Zuckerberg deserves to be in prison for a very long time. What we're finding out is billions of dollars keep you out of jail. Well, like we didn't already know that, but it's just that it's happening more and more and more. Zuckerberg is trying to save his butt, but as far as he'll get is to come to some agreements. The Hierophant is saying that the ethics commissions will come down hard on him, and I think he's going to have to step down. At least step down. Now, I'm just going to pick 2 cards to see if we see prison. He's definitely going to be sorry that he didn't get away with what he was doing. He was like, I don't know, like Zuckerberg gone wild. I mean, just like money made him just go wild. Just like, what? Yeah, just, you know, have these algorithms that, you know, if people are angry, let's just send them more things to be angry about. And just, you know, people's psychology, like we're very impressionable. You have to have a very strong sense of an independent mind to not suck that stuff up, all that hatred and, you know, and young girls being, you know, persuaded to go on diets that turn them into skeletons and targeting them with all this information about skinny diets. And how evil can you be? So he deserves to be in prison. Myanmar, what happened there? Genocides happened. January 6th, organized on Facebook. He deserves to rot in prison. This channel's for entertainment purposes only, and I'm getting a little riled up, so I'm gonna shush. But you know, this is the Four of Cups, he will be sorry, but you know what he's sorry about? That he couldn't just keep doing it. I'm going to encourage you all to get off of Facebook and get off of Instagram. And I know that's a controversial thing for me to say. I said I'm going to encourage you. Because for me to get off of Facebook feels better than being on it. I consider myself somebody with a strong code of ethics. And I know you are too. Or you wouldn't be here with me. Because like attracts like. Queen of Pentacles, yeah, I see a female taking over Facebook, but it's not going to be Facebook. The meta thing, I don't think is going to, I just see people dropping like flies. I just see people dropping like flies from Facebook. Oh, my nose is itching. It's a sign of truth. Or that I'm going to do a spell. All right, I think that's it. That's enough. That's just, there's too much going on. I will come back soon, probably Saturday or Sunday. Sunday's Halloween. So I'll definitely come back right between the 30th and 31st. We have Church of Spirituality on October 31st. If you're having a Halloween party and you want to add the added element of having a remote tarot card reader, psychically, we do it like this, 15-minute readings. I'd love to have you. It would be fun. Annette Dion 7@gmail.com. If you're interested in my other services, like having a reading, Annette Dion 7@gmail.com. Any questions, any comments, leave beautiful comments if you can. Please share, please subscribe so I can build this channel and go live eventually. Love you guys. Thanks for all your support. See you soon. Namaste. Keep your thoughts positive. Bye.